And welcome back to the Software Matrix here on Print Island. Today I have a very cool customer in Carlo, the COO of Zakeke, the famous web-to-print platform. Welcome, Carlo, to the island.
Ciao, Chris. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too, sir. Thank you for joining us. So first and foremost, being the Software Matrix, we're going to cover software, and we're going to jump straight in and talk to you about Zakeke. Now, for those that don't know Zakeke, how does the technology stack handle the demands of a real-time 3D rendering, customization, and I believe you scale up to 25,000 plus customers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we started, since the beginning, our goal was to build a global platform. So our idea was not to start locally and then expand. To make this, we built the infrastructure on Microsoft Azure, one of the most reliable and best services for cloud in the world. Most important, we built it with horizontal scaling system, meaning that we have a dynamic system able to distribute traffic across multiple instances to ensure high availability and performance. For distribution, we rely on a caching system, meaning that if you open Zakeke in a specific geographic area, the next time someone opens Zakeke in that area, it's faster because it relies on the cache. For 3D, I think it's a combination of 3D asset optimization, progressive loading. So when you start Zakeke, we do not load the entire scene, but there is a hidden process while customers start personalizing the item to build the remaining parts that are not essential for the beginning of the personalization. And then we are client-side. We use a client-side approach. So customers don't need to wait the server to render the 3D and see it and provide it, but we provide the assets and the browser download and show the asset. That's why the optimization is very important.
Fantastic. So you've walked us through the infrastructure approach there, how you manage it, and then the approach for ensuring sub-second load times as well, which is something I was going to ask you, but you've covered that as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's move on a little bit more because there's a word that everyone's talking about right now, and that's AI. Let's talk about AI and machine learning. The AI Agent Studio that appears to be something quite significant in recent addition to Zakeke. What's the underlying AI architecture powering it, and how do you ensure quality of consistency across the generated products, visuals? And by the way, before you answer, I must say, please go and check out this Zakeke website where you can see this, because it is actually something very, very cool to see.
We rely on an architecture leveraging on several systems, several external platforms, and then there is Zakeke to orchestrate multiple AI pipelines to ensure parallel processing of requests. We can also provide customers with dedicated pipelines. Regarding quality, I think the two most important things is multi-reference inputs and prompt composition engine. With the multi-reference inputs, we try to avoid the AI to invent too much. That is the biggest challenge today with the AI. And with the prompt composition engine, we can dynamically build optimized prompts. So the combination of these two things ensure better quality. The system is based on credit-based system. So our customers, we do the cost, we calculate the cost, and then customers have pay credits. We decided to go this way because customers are very used today to credit-based system, because they use the major platforms and all of them work with credits.
Fantastic. So you're taking away some of that cost implications on the customer by including it as part of the package. So that's a nice model, if you ask me. In terms of we're going to move on to sort of the platform and scalability and performance. How do you handle the challenge of managing thousands of concurrent users, customizing products in real time without degrading the output and the performance?
As I said, we have built the platform to be able to handle thousands of customers at the same time and even manage peak times like November and December are very high traffic periods. This is thanks to the horizontal scalability. So our machines, our system is able to dynamically distribute the traffic peaks, and only 20% of our capability is used in a given moment. So we always have 80% of the machine free to take traffic and ensure business continuity and performance. We are today managing between 10 and 20 millions of customized items per month. For the 3D, as I said, I think the optimization is the key point. Today, we have a system, a proprietary custom optimizer for 3D models that is able to reduce by 90% the complexity of a 3D model, and so its size. And this is good not just for distribution, but also for storage. So we are able to store a large number of 3D models because their size is not that heavy as, if you use that model in no web environments.
Wow, fantastic strategy. And with regards to integrations and APIs, you support integrations with 15 plus e-commerce platforms, plus you have custom APIs as well. Do you maintain quality while keeping those integrations up to date with the platform?
Sure. This is something we are very proud of. We strongly believe in ecosystem. Zakeke is a component that you use in larger systems. So integration is a crucial part of our offer. And they are code-free in connectors. As you said, we have a dozen of code-free connectors. I love this part as a not-tech guy because we give not-tech guys the possibility to use Zakeke, integrate Zakeke with their systems in a couple of clicks, and you don't need to be a technical guy, a developer, and use API. Of course, we have API for custom solutions, so platforms that are not supported with a code-free connector. We are official partners of all the platforms we integrate with, so we know things in advance, of course, and we have a dedicated team that can work on keep them, maintain them updated and healthy for our customers. We do versioning, so if we do some changes, those changes do not impact our customers. And if we need to deprecate something, we always do a plan to give our customers enough time to align without any service interruption, of course.
Excellent. And we have some researchers here on the island, and they did a little bit of research into Zakeke, and it turns out that you guys are ISO 27001 2022 certified and SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. Now, I'm guessing as a COO, that's something that falls under your remit a little bit. What are the technical requirements that drive these certifications, and how do you ensure compliance as a platform evolves?
Yeah, we are ISO 27001 and SOC 2 certified. Not only, we are also GDPR compliant, one of the most strict privacy regulations in the world, and we are also compliant with the European regulation for accessibility that is based on WCAG standards from the US. So we give customers a full package of certifications and compliances to make sure, they can embed our software in their systems. Compliance with security certificates is not a one-time achievement. It's more an ongoing process that is stressing for operation development. As an operation guy, I can tell it. To maintain it, we have a mix of tools. There is internal processes. We changed some of our processes to make sure that we do not make mistakes to maintain compliance. There is external tools that help us and give us warning when something is wrong, and we also rely on consultants. Anyway, we do an audit every year to confirm the certification.
Yeah, I'd say that's fantastic. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there. I think that's something so important for this day and age in a product that you guys are making that gives that security for your customers.
Yeah, that is very important, and is one of the most required things now, because when you decide to use an external software in your company, you need to make sure of what software you are embedding, because you may have problems with customers or security.
I think that's something that's quite a USP for Zakeke to promote that fact versus its competitors. So let's move on to product development and roadmap. Obviously, that's a big part of any software entity. How do you prioritize feature development across a very diverse customer base? And obviously, looking at your site, I can see you span many printing verticals, from fashion, jewelry, furniture, food, beverage, etc. How do you prioritize feature development there, Carlo?
Yeah, let me start from saying that when we started, from the early years and until today, we had a very product-driven strategy. So we do not do custom development. Every time a customer comes to us and asks for something, if it aligns with our product vision, we prefer to develop it as a feature instead of a feature for the product, instead of a single development for customers. This is not easy, because when you make it as a feature, you need to make it large enough to cover different use cases. But especially at the beginning of our history, this gave us the possibility to build a platform that then today is able to cover the large majority of cases that we meet. Of course, I like to say that Zakeke is a living software. The software you buy in January, it's not the same software we have in December. We do around 6 product updates per year. How we prioritize things. Of course, in the last couple of years, AI was one of the big topics. So our efforts went there, but we do 6 months roadmap, and we stick to that roadmap, so we can do long, because for software 6 months is not short, a long roadmap within the product vision, the product strategy. And during those 6 months, I work with the sales, marketing, and developers to build the next round of product update. So to have, a plan enough on time on development, and it's a good mix between our product vision, things that we see around, and market request.
Fantastic. I love that 6-month roadmap idea as well. So let's go into the people that make that roadmap happen. Let's talk about the engineering organization, or let's find out, how large is your development team, and how is it organized across front end, back end, 3D rendering, AI? infrastructure. How do you look?
We have 30 developers within the company. All of them are within the company. There is no outsourcing for us. We have part dedicated to certain verticals like 3D or infrastructure. AI, in generally speaking, is not confined to a specific team, but it's a distributed capability across the entire team. And to maintain the team aligned with capability, we do internal events every year. Last one was in February and was a hackathon dedicated to AI. The entire team, the developers, were closed in a room for 1 week, and they came up with 6, 7 new softwares based on AI and entirely developed by AI, not connected with Zakeke, and was an exercise to, to make team building and at the same time online capabilities on AI. And I must say, this kind of events works a lot. Then, of course, we do recruiting. We rely on external partners or direct sourcing. Our CTO is very famous for the test he made to new hires. It's quite complex. But it's not just about tech skills. We want people aligned with our values and that are happy to work in this company.
How do you balance the investment between optimizing, say, the platform versus building new AI-powered features like the Agent Studio, for example, which I saw on your website?
As I said, I think the big efforts we did at the beginning enabled us to have today a very robust and with very in-depth capabilities platform. So today, I must say that, it's not like you have 1,000 things to develop and then you get crazy, selecting what to develop. Anyway, in the last 2 years, as I said, AI took about 50% of our development efforts, maybe a bit more, because for us, it was not just adding AI features in our platform, but we made AI to become, as to say, an essential part of our platform, because AI is dramatically changing our world. So today there is not just AI features, there is also AI-based utilities to help customers, to help merchants to set up Zakeke faster. And I think this 50-60% of efforts will be for the next 6-10 months, still for the 6-10 months. Then we have enough experience, enough team to make sure that we are not too much focused on a single technology. And AI is a technology for us. So when we decide to do something, if that something can be done with AI, we do by AI. Otherwise, we use traditional technology. In the end, the results, what is matter to us, not technology that you use behind it, including 3D, for example.
Excellent. And what's your perspective on the competitive landscape? How Zakeke's technical approach differentiates you from your competition?
It's hard to talk about competitors because Zakeke is a very large offer. We cover several verticals and several use cases. We have specific competitors in specific verticals. But I must say that today we are recognized as one of the leading platforms in our sector, especially for the decoration industry. We have a very large ecosystem, something as I said before, we invested a lot in the last years, and now we see the fruits of it because we are well positioned in all the platforms as a partner. again, we don't work on bespoke solution. So I think many customers are today in the trap of I go after the clients, I make bespoke so I can get the contract, and then you have a no scalable platform. Today, we have a platform where we can add features, we can add functions, we can add solutions, because the base is very robust and very flexible. And our platform is built on microservices, so adding things is easier for us.
Okay, and let's look at the industry in the future. Carlo, how are you positioning Zakeke as a retail media becomes increasingly important to D2C brands, and what technical capabilities does that require? And I guess, what do you see the role of Web3, metaverse applications playing in the future of that visual commerce, if any?
Yeah, we already work with a lot of D2C brands. It's one of the markets that we address. I think in the last years, I saw a lot of focus in switching from simple product visualization to fully integrated product experience within the brand's assets to drive sales and conversions. To do so as a solution, you need to be an embedded component in the ecosystem of the client. And I think that is where we are. We are component, an embedded component in the system of the clients. By the way, we are a MAC Alliance member that is the biggest alliance of for composable commerce in the world. So we have years of experience to build exactly this. And I think in that integration with the marketplaces like Etsy or Amazon go into this direction. So clients need fast connection with clients where clients are. Regarding Web3, we did initiatives and features for the Web3, especially in the NFT world. It's one of the worlds that we see, of course. We have open eyes. I must say that we are more an industrial partner of our customers. So we want to replace a manual and crazy process to generate production ready files for our customers. So Web3 is for us a part of the product experience, but not the end result of the entire experience.
Fantastic, Carlo. We appreciate you so much for coming on to the Matrix today. I urge everybody to get onto the Zakeke website and check out some of those AI tools. They're unbelievable, and I think for the consumer, it makes life so much more exciting. I feel that you've really brought the Amazon experience a step closer with a personalized approach as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. We appreciate your time. And we look forward to speaking to you again in the future, Carlo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.